Do you want to?
How? Every door is guarded.
Who said anything about a door?
What are you doing?
Sometimes, Princess, sometimes you just have to take a risk.
What just happened?
If you've seen my last video that I made with Lucian, you'll see that I said that, hey, when I get a new computer, I need something to record with and something to watch the video on, so that's when I'm gonna start making commentary videos. I have 2 phones now. I know I only showed you one, but I'm recording with the other one. And great, I'm getting my story animated recommendations now. So now I have something to record with and something to watch the video on. Anyway, actually happened was deleted. Yes, I'm not lying to you. It's gone. It's disappeared. I saw Jarvis Johnson made a video on it. Anyway, I'm watching my story animated right now. So, let's watch. Oh, that's
Have you
a
ever
new
heard
intro.
of Cinderella?
Duh. Bro, what is wrong with her breast? I hate to point that out for you children out there, but they're like going like that. Who animates? Like, okay. I mean, it's the only way to tell her apart from a man, but okay, that was me. That's not true if you took. I'm apologizing to an animated character. I don't know. What am I doing?
To tell you, evil stepmothers are not just in fairy tales.
Well, evil people, period, aren't just.
Before you go on calling me dramatic,
No, I knew that. Or
you have to hear my story.
what is with what was that? Also, what is the what's that? Why is it pixelated?
Stepmother makes Medusa look like an absolute saint.
Get ready for a
Okay, I think that's a little bit. That's a little bit dramatic. Someone from Florida is calling me. I don't know who this is.
Get ready for a story full of tears, crime, and a whole lot of corn.
Don't just throw me in that. Why corn? See, this title has no. It does not tell you anything about the story. Okay? I faked dead to get revenge is the name of this story. That's all it tells us. That way people are going to want to click on it to find out what happened. They're going to be curious. Also, the thumbnail is very dramatic. I completely believe this, but I do not know this because I'm actually just now watching this. I just scrolled through to find a weird looking video and this is the one I picked. Apparently the thumbnail has absolutely nothing to do with the story. So that's a surprise. This never happened before on this channel.
You're probably wondering, what's so evil about corn? Trust me, you'll know by the end of this story.
I don't think there's anything evil about corn. Maybe someone did something evil with corn, which that's weird enough, and I can't think of any situation like that, but I don't think there's anything evil about corn. Thank you. Actually, corn has nothing to do with the story. The only time corn comes into place is when she gets a little bit of corn in her clothes and she has to pick it out.
You'll just have to be patient. In the meantime,
You'll just have to be patient and give me all those views.
don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
You said don't subscribe to our channel, huh? Subscribe to our channel? Like you're one of the people who works there, not someone. You wouldn't say subscribe to our channel if you were somebody actually telling a story. okay?
If you don't, your worst enemy will win the lottery. You don't want that, right?
No, I'm gonna take my chances. I'm just gonna say that that's not gonna happen. I don't even have a worst enemy. Look at her face, too. Look at her face. She like knows that she scammed you. She's like, yeah, you don't want your friend to lose the lottery, do you? You wouldn't want us to lose these? I mean, you wouldn't want that, would you? Your friend to... You wouldn't want that.
Not that winning the lottery is always a good thing, though. That's actually where all of my troubles began.
Oh, God. Is this one of those stories? Oh, I was rich and I had a terrible life. I'm not saying all your problems go away when you're rich, but don't act like being rich is terrible.
See, when I was 5, my mother left my father and I. She never gave a reason, apparently, just left a note and walked out.
Oh, poor you. How many people have their parents divorced? 25% of...
I don't even know her name. I don't remember much about her from my childhood at all, but I do remember my dad. My dad was charming and perfect in every way.
He was a complete gentleman to everyone.
Okay, to be fair, you're his daughter. You're gonna look at him in the best way possible.
It was just us for years, and I loved it. Then, $2 changed our lives forever. We were walking and saw a scratch ticket on the ground. We figured we should try to play, so we picked it up and scratched it. We were only expecting to win $1 or $2, but we ended up winning the jackpot.
Yeah, but you said $2 ruined your life.
$2 changed our lives forever.
I don't think that's a lot more than $2. I think. I don't know where you live, but I mean, okay, the lottery's illegal here, but when I go to visit my dad and we get the lottery, I'm pretty sure the jackpot's more than $2.
$5 million. I was super happy at first, but I had no idea just how different our lives were going to be. My dad bought a mansion and a pony, and he invested the rest, quickly tripling his fortune. We were rich beyond our wildest dreams.
I don't think investing money quickly triples your fortune. Like, do you know what investing is?
And people started to take notice. It wasn't long before my dad was dating again. At this point, he could have had anyone he wanted. For some reason, he chose Taylor. Taylor was young and pretty.
Okay, I'm assuming, I can tell where this is going. He dates some gold digger. Why do you care? It's your dad. Okay. You should care. You should be like, hey, Dad, I don't think you should date this woman.
And it was obvious she was only after my father's fortune, but my dad was too love-struck to see the obvious and always told me I was just jealous of him dating.
What? You're just jealous of me dating. Excuse me, that's your daughter. Why would she be jealous?
One time she asked me if I wanted to help buy a gift for my dad. I agreed, thinking she wanted to do something nice. I gave her $6,000 to
go towards buying him a new watch. Well,
$6,000? Why? I don't care how much money you have. If you spend $6,000 on a new watch, then you're insane. I think I already know what's going to happen. She's going to spend the money on something else.
She came back from shopping with a $20 watch from the gas station and a $6,000 dress. When I confronted her, she told me that she dressed up for him and her looks were the gift.
Oh no, she spent her own money. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, that's not a $6,000 dress, is it? I saw a dress like that at the store for like $200. Hold on one second. I don't even know if those exist. $6,000 dress. I don't even think 6,000. 13,000? I guess I'm wrong. Oh my god, that is... This is $265?
She told me that she dressed up for him and her looks were the gift.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
My dad and I fought a lot about Taylor. Eventually, we decided it was best for me to go to boarding school. It felt like he was picking her over me, and I was hurt.
I mean, kind of. You understand that that a lot of kids go to boarding school? Are they ripping off this Bro, I was just reading a Five Nights at Freddy's book. I'm in the middle of the new one that came out. The exact same thing happened in it. The exact same thing. It wasn't boarding school. She basically said, "Hey, you like this woman's new boyfriend was like, hey, you either kick your daughter out of the house or you continue dating me." And then she kicked her daughter out of the house because she was a terrible mother. The same thing is happening in this.
I still feel guilty about what I said the night before I left. He said he would miss me, and I told him he didn't have to. Just make Taylor leave. Who do you love more, her or me?
Understandably, you should feel bad about that. You should not get in a fight with your father. If your father is dating somebody, that is his choice, okay? That is his choice. He rightfully kicked you out of that house because you don't make decisions for him. That is his decision. He gets to choose who he wants to date, okay? You may not like her, but that's his girlfriend. He can date whoever he wants. You cannot get mad at him for that. And if you keep screaming at him for it, rightfully he's going to send you to boarding school or out of his house. So I'm kind of feeling for him. I don't think you should be dating her, obviously. But yeah.
To make Taylor leave. Who do you love more, her or me?
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair.
He refused to answer, so I told him I hated him and ran away. Instead of saying goodbye or telling him I loved him, I woke up early on the day of my flight and took a taxi there by myself.
You're a bad person.
He was so upset that he decided to drive out to say a proper goodbye. Sadly, he never made it to the airport. He got in a huge car accident.
I was still at the airport when I got the phone call.
Oh my god, there's a huge gaping hole in this chicken's leg so it doesn't squeak properly.
By the time I got to the hospital, he had already died.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that crying? What the...
It's devastated, but you know who wasn't? You guessed right, Taylor. All she could think about was what was in the will. It was actually the first thing she asked me when she saw me at the hospital. So, do you know where your dad keeps the will?
I was so angry, but I kept my cool because
It's not something she would ask. I don't care how bad of a person you are. Unless you're Satan, of course. You would at least wait a while. Like, she's not even trying to hide the fact. This is like people from TLC, basically. They're like, oh god, oh no, they're dead. Hey, where's the money?
Some information that would hurt her more than any insult would. Yeah, I do. And he left nothing to you. I laughed. She nearly passed out on the spot. When we got back to the house, I pulled out the will and everything was being left to me. Her face went pale like a ghost, and she ran out of the room while dialing the number to her lawyer. I have to admit, I got some satisfaction from her panic. Sadly, I did not get the last laugh. After she talked to her lawyer, I did not see or hear from her in days. She didn't even come to his funeral. I thought I had won and she was finally out of my life. I couldn't be more wrong. Turns out, she had spent all that time away searching through the whole will for any type of loophole.
She got a lawyer. What do you think she... Okay.
Unfortunately for me, she found one. Until I was 18, my guardian would be in charge of my funds. When the speaker asked who that was, Taylor raised her hand.
It should... If it took your lawyer that long to where, like, the funeral was already over by the time he figured that out, then he's an idiot. You should have immediately known that. I thought the character was 18 already. She was just going to, like, she's either in, like, high school or college. I can't handle this story. It's... Everybody knows that! Have you ever seen a series of unfortunate events with Jim Carrey? No? Apparently not. Okay.
My jaw dropped, and I immediately said that wasn't true. She was just my dad's girlfriend. She smirked at me and whipped out a paper. If I'm not your guardian, then what are these?
Yeah.
She asked. They were adoption papers, like fully legal adoption papers. And to my horror,
Guardian.
my signature
She
was
lived
at
with
the
you. She
bottom of the
watched over
page.
When is it gonna get to the... She faked her death?
She told me there was going to be a lot of changes in my life. She told me that I needed to work around the house and get a job to pay bills to learn responsibility.
She also
You seem old enough to just leave. This character... She has to be 17, at least. If you get to that... Okay, well, okay, to be honest... Good? Like, she seems really old, okay? She seems like... Okay, really old? Really? She seems like an older teenager. She should definitely get a job and help pay bills and clean around the house. And she shouldn't work her like a slave, of course. But if she doesn't, like, do work and clean it all, then that's bad. And yeah, you should.
Disenrolled me from the boarding school I wanted to go to. I was super mad, and I said I wanted to be as far away from her as possible. She told me she had already booked a one-way ticket to a boarding school in another country.
She would.
Wouldn't that cost more money than the original boarding school? Also, you have to clean around the house now and pay money for bills. Except you don't live here anymore, so you really can't do that because you're in another country. Now can you?
At first, I thought this was because she was trying to get rid of me. It became all too apparent what she was trying to do, though. Let's see how long it will take you guys to figure out the plan she had up her sleeve.
There are like 1,000 different possibilities. How would I come up with one?
I told her I would just drive to the school with a taxi, and that's when she told me that I would follow her or else.
You can get the police. I'm gonna call the police on you. Only this one still works properly. It can only do this. God, an ear's blowing straight towards my face every time I do it. Because there's a hole right there.
She walked me over to a car and opened the trunk. I assumed it was for my bags, so I leaned in. Then she pushed me inside and closed the lid.
Yeah, it sucks for you because you're gonna die in there when you lose oxygen. Also, she pushed you in the trunk. Just by looking at this car, I can assume that there's literally no way to push somebody into this trunk.
She opened up the back of the car just enough for me to jump out and scream at her. She didn't even bother to listen. She just got back in the driver's seat and drove off. I looked around to see where she left me. A church? In the middle of the woods? A few nuns came out. A few of them spoke English and just explained that they were paid a lot of money to reform me. I tried to run away, but it became apparent that I had nowhere to go. After 3 hours of wandering around, lost, I showed back up to the church, defeated.
Why don't you just go in the direction where the car came from? Eventually you'll make it back to civilization.
Remember how I said there would be lots of corn? Well, we're getting there.
We had a long day of
I bet the corn's gonna be like one really small part of the story that's gonna have barely anything to do with anything. I guarantee you. I've been doing this for like 45 minutes.
when I caught a glimpse of something I never thought I'd see again. No, it wasn't a laptop or indoor plumbing. It was a man. Apparently, he was delivering some supplies to the church.
Love at first sight. Which doesn't exist. Maybe if you talk to the person, but... Oh my god. Churches were not that strict. People don't understand. I am a Christian. I believe in God. I am a Baptist. And even I have a Catholic friend. I'm assuming Catholic, but that's what it looks like. We're not that strict, for the love of God. Like, they wouldn't make it to where you couldn't see men. We're not that God, dude. Chill.
Normally his mother did it, but she was sick today. He was going to rest a bit before he took off again on the long drive back to his house. He had to be about my age and was super fit and hot.
Do you want to get out of there at one point? Maybe do whatever they say. I guarantee she's going to talk to them, and then this woman's going to be out and be like, oh, boys are bad. Now you have to just stay here for like 10 more years or something. Which, at that point, you've been there for a few years. She's 18. She has the legal right to just leave.
He must not have seen so many young girls either, because he looked back at me with the same sort of fascination. He immediately came up to me and started to compliment me, saying I was much different than the other nuns. I was young and beautiful, and he was very attracted to me. I explained that I, too, was very attracted to him. When he said it was too bad I was a nun, I immediately corrected him, saying it was a long story.
I am very attracted to you. That's what you say immediately when you see somebody for the first time. I am very attracted to you.
Before I could say anything else, the oldest,
meanest nun interrupted us.
she said it wasn't very ladylike to be talking to boys, and she
Dragged me away to do.
What? It's not ladylike to talk to men. You know nuns are allowed to talk to men, right? They can't marry, but they are allowed to talk to men. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, personally, my religion, we don't have nuns. But, like, I've seen them before. It's not ladylike to talk to men. Also, I like how they made her look like, basically, like, she smokes every day since she was 2. I can't even make that face. God.
I was worried that was the last I'd ever see of the mysterious man.
A couple of hours later, as I was chopping
The mysterious man?
I heard some whispers coming from behind a bush. It was the man from before. He told me that if I wanted, he would drive me far away from here. He told me to hide under the crops in the back of his truck while he distracted the nuns.
I saw corn there.
Then we just drove off. I was picking corn out of my clothes and hair for hours. Who knew my kidnapping would ruin corn for me? We drove.
drove for hours and hours.
Is that the whole corn thing? You were picking corn at it? Corn's evil because you had to pick it out of your clothes.
Most importantly, I wanted to know where Taylor was and who that mysterious woman was.
Yeah, you can get them arrested now. Because I guarantee pushing somebody in your trunk. My thing is, why did you push her in the trunk? I'm just now thinking of that. You could have just said, hey, your mom paid to do this. You have to get in the car. Actually, you didn't even have to tell her. You could have just put her in the car And then once you got there, you can say, okay, get out. And then when she gets out, it's like, this isn't the place, you just drive off. You didn't have to push her in the trunk, which that trunk was not big enough to push somebody in.
The most shocking thing about my Facebook account wasn't the thousands of missed messages. It was all the people sending their condolences. At first, I thought they were belated wishes about my father I never got to see. But the truth was much more disturbing. People thought I was dead.
I used Facebook to call one of my dearest friends.
This is called I faked being dead to get revenge, even though she didn't fake being dead. And it wasn't for revenge.
She answered immediately and seemed so shocked to hear from me. But it can't be. You're dead. She started to cry. I explained everything that had happened to me with the strange woman and the monastery, and I asked why everyone thought I died. Apparently, Taylor told everyone I had gotten into an accident overseas and died.
And she's an idiot, and she should just call the freaking police on her. Anyway, I have 3 minutes left. Let's get through this.
You can still help me, I said with a devilish plan in mind.
Her devilish, ingenious plan is to knock on the door of her stepmother. How long did...
My friend met me at the airport with tears in her eyes. She brought me a change of clothes and asked me what the plan was.
She just quickly went from, I'm so happy to see, here's your clothes. I'm so happy to see you.
I showed up to my old house and could see that Taylor had been busy with my fortune she inherited as my legal guardian after I died.
As my legal guardian after I died. And why a legal guardian? If you said guardian, that would have made sense, because she's not really a guardian. If you say legal guardian, it doesn't make sense, because she is your legal guardian, like 100%. She's... Okay.
Several expensive sports cars in front of the house and very expensive statues that weren't there when I left.
Oh, wow. She had money and bought cars? Nobody ever does that. She's evil.
I went right up to the door and knocked, and was greeted by a butler. She told me that Miss Taylor was busy, but I told her to let Taylor know it was a family emergency from her daughter.
Miss Taylor? Wouldn't that make more sense if they said her last name after Miss? That would... Like, you're not... It's not like the butler's her child, like, her friend, her son's friend.
I wish I got a picture of the look on Taylor's face. She screamed when she saw me.
She probably looked like this. Oh, Zaiwaruto! She literally looks like someone from an anime when they get super mad.
How are you? She stuttered.
How are you? No one would say that. How are you? Oh, sorry about that whole pretending you're dead thing. Can we move past that, please? That would be amazing. You're a nun now, so you should...
She really thought nuns could just keep me forever. Nuns? She asked, genuinely confused. You were supposed to be dead. Carly, get down here now.
Why would you say that, you idiot? You were supposed to be dead. Okay, well now I can really call the police on you for attempted murder. Thanks for that.
Dead? A few minutes later, I heard the voice of a familiar woman. What are you going on about now, sister? I was she started. The woman froze when she looked at me. It was none other than the woman who had brought me to the church in the first place. They fought back and forth in front of me. They started throwing faces at each other and screaming. Apparently...
Why did you look like that? They're trying to kill each other. I guess I'll just get out of here. You know what, guys? If you're just gonna keep doing this, then I'm just gonna leave. Bye. I got a mark on my face for that.
sister to get rid of me, but her sister couldn't go through with it and gave 50% of the hitman money to the nuns to take me in.
And I'm smiling about it because I'm that much of a sociopath. Please kill me. I want to die.
Taylor turned and asked if anyone else knew I was here, and I got a very uncomfortable knot in my throat. I will never know if she was actually going to hurt me, because the moment she approached me, the cops knocked on the door.
Why was her breast moving but not her shirt? That felt kind of weird.
Even without the context
Also, what was that walk? Hold on, let me watch it again. Does anyone else know you're here?
Who said anything about a door?
What are you doing?
Sometimes, Princess. Sometimes you just have to take a risk.